Ohio, Ohio, Ohio. You know, the internet's favorite meme state. I mean, if you've been on social media for even 5 minutes, you've probably seen jokes like, only in Ohio, Ohio isn't real, or my personal favorite, Ohio is just Florida in the Midwest. But here's the thing, Ohio is very real, and so is the drama coming out of its schools right now. And oh boy, do I have one for you. Imagine your kid comes home from school and says, "Mom, Dad, there's a big red bus outside and they're checking kids to learn about Jesus." And right after that, another kid shows up and says, "Oh yeah, well, I'm going to the Satanic Temple's new program." Okay, now listen to me. You don't just need experience to experience Satan. You need to go to the Satan school to learn about Satan. Don't listen to the Sunday school about Satan. They're a bunch of liars and bias pricks. Because, ladies and gentlemen, in Marysville, Ohio, a new religious education program is starting up from the Satanic Temple. Yup, you heard that right. The same state that brought us the Wright brothers and LeBron James is now the battleground for debate about religion, education, and freedom of choice. And honestly, this story is Ohio. It hurts me right here in my meow meow. So grab your snacks and whatever you want to drink and get cozy, because we are diving into how the Satanic Temple is shaking things up in public schools, why parents are calling for alternative to a Christian program, and what this says about religious freedom in America. It all started with the release time religious instruction. It's been around since the early 1900s. The idea is pretty simple. Public schools allow kids to leave for an hour a week to attend religious classes off campus. This is totally legal, by the way, thanks to some Supreme Court rulings, as long as it's voluntary and doesn't use public funds. Fast forward to today, in Marysville, Ohio, there's a program called LifeWise Academy that takes students out for 55 minutes every week to teach them Christian values and Bible lessons. And they've got this big red bus that picks up kids and takes them to nearby churches or community centers. Now, this isn't just some small town thing. Programs like LifeWise are spreading fast. They started in 2019 with just 2 districts, and now they're in over 325 schools across 12 states. That's some pretty serious growth, fueled by a larger conservative pushback against what's been called woke education. You know, all those culture war debates, book bans, school board protests. You've seen the headlines. And here's where it gets interesting. Some parents in Marysville weren't exactly thrilled about LifeWise Academy. They felt like it excluded non-Christian kids and put subtle pressure on family to join in. That's when a group of parents reach out to the Satanic Temple. You know, when life gets hard, the heart goes Satan. Now hold on a sec. Before I go imagining devil horns and pentagrams, let's clear something up. The Satanic Temple is not what most people think it is. They don't worship Satan.
Huh?
They're actually a non-theistic organization. That means no literal devil, no fire and brimstone sermons. Instead, they focus on values like empathy, critical thinking, and challenging authoritarianism. Man, that's mouthful. Authoritarianism. Their motto: we promote pluralism and fight for religious freedom. Basically, if one religion gets to do something, they're going to make sure others get the same shot, even if it makes people uncomfortable. This isn't the first rodeo either. Remember when Arkansas put up a 10 Commandments monument at the Capitol? The Satanic Temple responded by hauling in a 7-foot tall bronze statue of Baphomet. Yep, they don't play around, ladies and gentlemen. So, in response to LifeWise, the Satanic Temple launched their own program called the Hellion Academy of Independent Learning, or HAIL for short, without the Mary in front of it. And honestly, it sounds more like a mix between a creative workshop and a community service project than anything satanic. And here's how it works. HAIL only meets once a month. That's way less often than LifeWise weekly sessions. And it's all about letting kids learn and explore on their own terms. They get to pick what they want to dive into, which is great if you got a kid who's curious about, well, almost everything. On top of that, they'll be doing good stuff in the community, volunteering, helping others, and learning how to spread kindness. And they'll get creative too. We are talking about painting, writing stories, maybe even putting on a little show or performance. The program also focuses on problem solving and critical thinking, 2 things we could all use more of, to be honest. There's no preaching, no Bible verses, no sermons, just a space where kids can grow, explore, and figure out who they are. Honestly, it sounds like something a lot of parents would be into regardless of their belief. Now let's talk about reactions. LifeWise Academy isn't too worried about the competition. Their CEO, Joel Penton, told Cool News, "We are not afraid of other organizations offering release time programs. We trust parents to make the best choice for their kids." But he's also pushing for a new law, the Ohio House Bill 445, which would make it easier for school districts to approve religious release programs. Critics say that it sounds like a fast track for more Christian-centric programs. Meanwhile, the Satanic Temple fired back, accusing programs like LifeWise of using things like field trips and snacks to lure kids in. Erin Hellion, the temple's campaign director, said it's not a good look to prey on children like that. And let's not forget the parents who aren't thrilled about any of this. Some argue that these programs, no matter who's running them, blur the line between church and state and create peer pressure for kids to participate. Here's the bigger question: should public school be involved in religious programs at all? On one hand, you've got family who say, hey, this is about freedom. If parents want their kids to learn about their faith during school hours, why not? But on the other hand, there's the slippery slope argument. If one group gets access, everyone does. That means Christian, Muslim, Jews, Satanists, Hindus, Buddhists, even Jedi or Pastafarians worshipping the flying spaghetti monster. And yes, that's a real thing. It's a tough balancing act. Public schools are supposed to be somewhat neutral spaces. But is that even possible when programs like this exist? And what happens when kids who do not participate feel excluded or alienated? And that's it for today's video. So what's your take on all of this? Is this a win for religious freedom, or is it just adding fuel to the fire? And how will you feel if programs like this showed up at your local school? I really want to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment down below, and if you found this video thought-provoking or at least a little while, share it with someone who loves a good debate. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep questioning the world around you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.